class. Today I will be teaching about the topic semen analysis. This topic is for BSc second years from the subject pathology. So, introduction. Semen analysis, it measures the amount of semen a man produces and determines the number and the quality of sperm in the semen sample. So, in semen analysis, what do? We try to find out how much is the amount of the semen, or what are the numbers of sperms in the semen, or what is the quality of the sperm in the semen sample. Okay, so all that identification and detection is called semen analysis. A semen analysis is usually one of the first tests which is done to help in determining whether the father is is fertile or infertile, okay, or whether the father is having any problem relating to the reproductive process. Okay, so therefore this semen analysis is very useful, okay, to check whether there is any chances for infertility. Next, a problem with semen or sperm affects more than 1/3 of the couples who are unable to have children. Okay, so naturally, if the amount or the quantity of sperms are not normal, they are not meeting to the normal point, then therefore the couples, they are not able to have children. Okay, so this is this is a very sad thing, but semen analysis test is very, very important. So semen analysis, they are mainly carried out to determine, number one, whether a man has a reproductive problem that is causing infertility. So we are trying to check whether he is able to produce, they are able to produce children or not. Okay. Then number two is it determines whether a vasectomy or vasectomy reversal has been successful. So it checks also whether the procedure of vasectomy, that is removal of the epididymis. Okay. So therefore it checks whether this procedure is successful or not. So this these two are the identifications, or you can say the purpose of semen analysis. Next, semen analysis is a singular term for fertility in male that can provide information on. So this semen analysis, okay, it is a very useful test for males, and it provides some information on sperm production, the patency of the male ducts, whether the male ducts are, is there any obstruction, or is there a normal passage or not. Then to check the function of the accessory glands and to check the ejaculative function. So semen analysis also, it helps the doctor to find out the information about these. Since semen samples vary from day to day, 2 or 3 samples may be evaluated within a 3 to 6 month period for accurate testing. So not only one sample is required, but 2 to 3 samples also may be required. Okay, and it is evaluated within a 6 month period. Okay, to get the correct result. A semen analysis to test the effectiveness of a vasectomy is usually done 6 weeks after vasectomy. So males who have undergone vasectomy procedure, okay, so to check whether they are fertile or unfertile, then they have to do this test, that is semen analysis, how many weeks? After 6 weeks after the surgery. So okay, so this is a semen. Okay, this is a sperm actually. So we know that there is a head. Okay, there is a nucleus. Okay, then there is the mitochondria. Okay, and the sperm is divided into 3 areas. One is the head, one is the midpiece, and one is the tail. Okay, so there are 3 areas or 3 portions of the sperm. Okay, and there is a head, there is a nucleus, and there is a mitochondria. So semen collection, okay, masturbating directing the semen into a clean sample cup, and do not use lubricant which can kill the sperm. So how do we collect the semen sample is, number one is by masturbation. Okay, by masturbation also we can you can collect the sample in a cup or in a or in a container. Okay, and we should tell the males not to use lubricant because it can kill the sperm. Next method or the next procedure for collecting is coitus interruptus. That is withdrawing the penis from the partner just before ejaculating, which is followed by ejaculating in a clean sample cup. So instead of ejaculating the semen into the female, okay, it is therefore taken now. The penis is withdrawn, okay, from the partner, and it is it is ejaculated in the container or a cup. Okay, so that is also a second. You can this is a second method, and third method is coitus by using a condom. Okay, so a special condom that does not contain any substances. Okay, it is made up of silicone. This can be used. Okay, so after ejaculation, carefully remove the condom from the penis, then tie a knot in the open end of the condom and place it in a container that can be sealed in case the condom leaks or breaks. Ordinary condoms should not be used since they contain spermicide. Okay, so that is the reason they have to use a special silicone condom to collect the semen sample. Okay, and after that you can send it to the lab. The fourth step or the fourth method to collect semen is assisted ejaculation. Okay, with the help of electro-ejaculation is used in paralytic. So with the help of an electrical system, okay, we can stimulate and the male, and then after ejaculating, then we can collect the semen sample. Then semen collection, good and reliable semen analysis is results. It starts from semen collection, preferably by masturbation. So the best method from all these four, it is the masturbation. For collecting the sample by masturbation, okay, so there are many steps. Number one is abstinence days 2 to 5. The abstinence means no sexual contact with the female partner for 2 to 5 days. Then pass urine, okay, then wash hands with soap and dry, okay, with soap, and then you dry your hands. Then collect the entire sample in a white mouth sterile container. 70% of the sperm is in the first part of the ejaculate. Next, keep the sample at body temperature, no sunlight, and deliver the sample within 1 hour of ejaculation. So after collecting the sample, we have to send it to the lab, okay, within 1 hour of ejaculation. Next, once after collecting the semen sample from the patient, the receiving time is noted down. So there is you have to make a record. Okay. What is the time that the patient has given the sample? Okay, and what is the time you have received? With the date. The sample has to be liquefied for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, at 37 degrees Celsius by placing the sample in a heating block. Then try to avoid the crystallization by leaving the sample stationary for a long period of time. So here, after taking the sample from the patient, okay, it has to be liquefied, okay, for about 20 to 30 minutes by putting it at 37 degrees Celsius. That is by placing in a heating block. Therefore, by putting the sample in a heating block, it will try to liquidify. Then after 20 to 30 minutes of liquefaction, then mix the sample homogeneously by using a transfer pipette. Then the sample volume, the viscosity, and the pH should be noted. Okay, so after liquefaction, then we try to mix the sample by using a transfer pipette. Okay, with the help of a pipette, we will try to mix the sample properly, and after that we will measure the amount of the sample, okay, amount the volume, this is volume of the sample, the viscosity, thickness. Then we also check the pH of the sample. So according to WHO criteria 2010, the parameters are as follows. Okay, so this is the lower reference limit, means that it should not be above these. So semen volume ml 1.5, sperm concentration 15 into 10 to the power 6 per ml. Total sperm number is 39 into 10 to the power 6 per ejaculate. Progressive motility 32 PR percentage. Total motility 40 PR plus NP percentage. Vitality it is 58 percentage. Sperm morphology 4%. pH should be more or equal to 7.2. Leukocyte less than 1 to 10 to the power 6 per ml, and MAR or immunobead test less than 50. So this is the parameter which is being recommended by the WHO. So let us see what are the abnormal results. Okay, so if the result of the patient has come out to be abnormal, then depending upon the condition. Okay, so let us see what are the abnormalities. One is aspermia. Aspermia means absence of semen. Okay, the male is not able to ejaculate any semen. Then azoospermia, it is absence of sperm in the semen. Next, hypospermia, it is low semen volume. Hyperspermia, it is high semen volume. Oligozoospermia, it is very low sperm count. Polyzoospermia, it is abnormally high sperm count in the ejaculate. Then actinozoospermia, it is poor sperm motility. Okay. Next, teratozoospermia, sperms that have morphological defects. Next, necrozoospermia, it is defined as all the sperms in the ejaculate are dead. So there are no live sperms, all the sperms are dead in the semen. Next, leucospermia, it is a high level of WBCs present in the semen. So when the WBC count, the white blood cells are very high in the semen, then we call it as leucospermia. Hematospermia, when there is presence of RBC, red blood cells in the sperm, then we call it as hematospermia. So these are some of the abnormalities, okay, and this is very important to remember for semen analysis. Okay, so in semen analysis, what is measured? Like I said, you measure the color, okay, the volume, how much amount the semen is being ejaculated. To measure the viscosity, is it thick or is it watery thin? Okay, and you have to measure the pH of the semen. So in semen analysis also there are two types of examination: macroscopic examination and microscopic examination. So according to the macroscopic examination and according to WHO criteria 2010, okay, so they said that the appearance, okay, according to the appearance of the semen, okay, then the normal is whitish to grey opalescent. Okay, so this is a normal color of the semen. Now if it is yellow, okay, that means there is some urine present and there can be chances for jaundice. Now if it is pink or reddish or brown, then it means that there are some RBCs which are present in the semen. Next, liquefaction. Okay, the normal liquefaction is 15 to 30 minutes after collection. Okay, it will liquefy. Now if it is lumpy, okay, it is lump means collection of something. Okay, so if it is lumpy for more than 60 minutes, then it means the sperms may be trapped in unliquefied belly. It may be a sign of prostatic infection. Okay, and there is lack of prostatic protein. Okay, so if there is lump, Okay, the semen is not liquefied. Okay, so it is forming lumps, then it means that the patient may have prostatic infection or lack of prostatic protein. Next is the viscosity. The normal viscosity of a semen should be smooth and watery. Okay, abnormal, thick with long threads, and high viscosity impedes sperm movement. Means that if the viscosity, if the sperm is very viscous, very thick, then the sperms will not be able to move properly. So the semen should be normal, that is smooth and watery. Next, the volume. Okay, the normal volume of the semen is 1.5 ml per ejaculation. Low volume, that is less than 1 ml, it reflects a problem with the seminal vesicles and prostate. It means that there is a block or retrograde ejaculation or infection or lack of androgen. Okay, so if the volume is less, okay, less than 1 ml, then means that the patient is having either prostate infection or some problems with the prostate gland or some problem with the seminal vesicles, okay, the ejaculation infection, or there is lack of androgen hormone. Next, low semen volume cannot neutralize vaginal acidity. High semen volume, it dilutes the sperms, or there can be active infection. Okay, so this is the abnormality of the in case of volume. Now pH. The normal pH is equal to or more than 7.2. Okay, so it is alkaline in nature. It is not acidic because it is more. Okay, so if it is less than 7.0, then it is indicating as acidic. It means it acidic pH in a low volume and density sample. It indicates that the patient may have congenital bilateral absence of vas deferens. Okay, so if the semen is acidic, it means that the patient may have does not have any vas deferens, and there's ejaculatory duct obstruction. pH increases with time as the natural buffering capacity of semen decreases. Therefore, high pH is not clinically useful. Okay, so the normal. So you just remember here that the normal pH should be equal or more than 7.2. Okay, and it is alkaline in nature. So so you can see here, this is a picture. Okay, so on one side is the normal sperm and one side is the abnormal. Okay, so first is the sperm count. Okay, the normal sperm count. Okay, and here if they are less, it means this low sperm count. Next photograph is a normal sperm. This is a normal sperm. Like I told you, there should be a head. Okay, there should be a midpiece and there should be a tail. Okay, so if there's any abnormal sperm, then it looks like this. Okay, this is an abnormal. You can see it is curved like this. It should not be like this. And the normal sperm motility, normal forward progression. Okay, it should go forward. Okay, आगे होना चाहिए. It should not go backward. Whereas in abnormal mobility, okay, there can be chances that it can go back, or it is not going forward. Okay, so this is the diagram. Now, how to prepare for semen analysis? Okay, the doctor will let you know what you should do in preparation for the semen analysis. Okay, it is very important to follow these instructions for accurate results. To get the best sample, the male should ejaculate or should avoid ejaculation for about 24 to 72 hours before the test. Next, avoid alcohol, avoid caffeine, avoid drugs such as cocaine, marijuana 2 to 5 days before the test. Stop taking any herbal medications such as St. John's wort, and in case of patients suffering from St. John's wort and echinacea, as instructed by the healthcare provider. Avoid any hormone medications as instructed by the healthcare provider. So these are some of the measures that the male has to follow before giving the semen analysis. Okay, so I hope you have understood about the topic for today. Okay, so thank you, class.